Welcome to the part 3 of chapter 6. In this lecture, we are going to take Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Okay, and that will be the last part of chapter 6. After that, we'll take the revolt of 1857. Okay, yeah. So, who was Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar? He was a prominent figure. The most important thing that we should remember that he was the person who gave Bengali primer, who reformed the Bengali primer. In a new way. He wrote completely new way for the Bengali primer, means like the alphabets, like the small part, the alphabets and all, who make the language in the word terms and all. Okay, that should be learned at a primary level, the terms, alphabets, letters and all. Okay, so he wrote those things, and still children learns those as primary things for the Bengali. Okay, so he was a great scholar, born in 1820, and the reformer. Vidyasagar dedicated his entire life to the cause of social reform. So he was that person, if we tell, as we have discussed all those things. Whenever you have a society related things, you have to keep in mind. First, always, whoever the thinker is, that will you will find common. First, women. Second, religions, rituals, in the sense, if I tell, uh, rituals. Okay, these two main things you will find always. You will find those things. What you can connect with the women, main thing you will connect, education, remarriage of divorce, and these things are still an issue for today also. Okay, that's why you can connect those dots, and you will get to understand. For the society related things, use those two terms blindly, you will get marks, you will be correct on that point. Okay, rituals things, the cultural stuff that we are carrying from centuries, without questioning on that, whether we are following, is it correct in nature or not. Okay, like the sati practice by the Raja Ram Mohan Rai, who raised the voice against the sati practice. Okay, widow remarriages and all. So these were the two things. So his life, Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar was also threatened on his life, because he was attacking the thought of Orthodox Hindus. Okay, so he was a great Sanskrit scholar, but his mind was open to the best Western thought. He came to represent a happy blend of India and Western culture. A fearless mind practiced what he believed. A great humanist who possessed sympathy for the poor, the unfortunate, and oppressed. There is a thought like one day he gave his coat to a naked beggar at the time. Okay, so that kind of kindness he had. He evolved a new methodology of teaching Sanskrit, like in his own way, that you will learn much more deeper. So that is not required with this concept. He wrote Bengali primer that's still used today by the children in their early stage. Opened the gates of learning Sanskrit to non-Brahmin as well. That's these things. Learning Sanskrit was centered to Brahmins only. He opened that gate. Why? So Brahmins should only be read those things. Sanskrit should also be learned by the non-Brahmins as well. And he countered the monopoly of Brahmins. Okay, that's why those activities, whatever he was, those activities that he was performing, was directly attacking the Orthodox Hindus thought. And Brahmins was leading, where the keeper, where the people, where the person who was on the top of Hindus hierarchy. Okay, so he was taking direct challenge from them. So determined the break and priestly monopoly of scriptural knowledge. Further introduced Western thought in the college to break the isolation of Sanskrit itself as well. So all the thinkers, whatever we have discussed right now, whether Dirozio, Rabindranath Tagore, Acharya Mohan Rai, they all took the Western thoughts into their spreading the intellectuals thinking in the society. And they use those Western thoughts only that were rational in nature, logical in nature. Like for the Derozio, if we see, he accepted those terms why French Revolution started, the reasons for the liberty, equality, and all. He used those things in his teaching in the Hindu college to his students. Okay, same things were followed. So in the same manner, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar also used those Western thought as well. So he was proved to be a worthy successor of Raja Ram Mohan Roy. He waged a long struggle in the favor of widow remarriage. Raja Ram Mohan Roy first he took the step to not kill the widow women, okay, through sati practice. He continued, even he raised the voice for the widow remarriage, not at that state, not in that much, that was so much early in nature, but he kept that thing in the favor of women for the widow remarriages, where he created a celebration for the like that there is countable that people counted like how much video remarriage during that period. So if we see 25 video remarriage happened between 1855 and 1860, so you can understand how much important that was for that period, that they counted within the span of 5 years they made 25 video remarriages. So you could understand the importance of that thing. Right now that doesn't sound that much important with the culture that right now we are living, but for that period it was a great success for them. Okay, so he read himself to improve their condition. He struggled, stated powerful movement in the favor of widow remarriage, which is still running till this day. In 1855, a large number of petitions from Bengal, Madras, Bombay, Nagpur, and other cities were presented to the government asking for an act of widow remarriage. So, the first lawful widow remarriage among the upper caste in our country was celebrated in Calcutta on 7 December 1856. Among this thing, that is the important part. Okay, under the inspiration and supervision of Vidyasagar. Okay, so government was also recognizing these things. The widow of other caste in the different parts of the country were already enjoyed, but started to enjoy during that period. But for the Calcutta, they made a celebration like on the 7th December 1856. They made it like the first um, lawful widow remarriage. Earlier, it was not lawfully if it happened in these part of the or in the corner of India. But Vidyasagar faced bitter enmity of the Orthodox Hindus. Even his life was threatened. He was fearless and chose his course. 25 year remarriage he done in 1855 and 1860, and 1850 protested against child marriage as well. All his life campaigned against polygamy, that one person containing more wives, more than one wife. So further interested in education for women, he faced many prejudice against women education as well. Prejudice means like people have a thought in nature like why women should get education. They are made for the do household activities work. So that kind of mindset he was hitting for during that period. Some believed educated women will lose their husbands as well. They will even today's these thoughts are there, like if we are educating our women, the relationship between women and husband will not be good. Step will be outside of the house. So that kind of mindset he was hitting, just think in the starting of 19th century. Even today few people hold those thoughts with them. So the pioneers of reforms in Western India. So impact of Western ideas felt much earlier in Bengal than in Western India, which was brought under effective British control late in 1880. So it was earlier than also the Western thoughts were hitting into India, but the prominent thinkers who took those logical thinkings into the Indian society was Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Tito Zio, Rabindranath Tagore, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, and all. Okay. Bal Shastri Jambedkar was one of the first reformers in Bombay. He attacked Brahminical orthodoxy and tried to reform Hinduism. In 1818, he started the weekly Darpan with the objective to make men forward with the mind as Europeans have advanced so far before the other nations of the world could be achieved. Okay, he he wanted to make people that smart, like before achieving the Europeans he wanted to achieve those success points with their own men. Okay, so that point he raised during the 1818 period. In 1849, Brahmans Mandali was founded in Maharashtra its founder believed in one god and primarily interested in breaking caste rule, similarly like Raja Ram Mohan Roy. So if you compare with that, so that thought came from the Raja Ram Mohan Roy, like we should believe in one god, like practicing with multiple gods. He raised a voice against it. Similar kind of things was done by the Paramahans Mandli as well. We know Paramahans Mandli. Even if we go to a few Hindu people house, we'll see a picture of Paramahans Mandli groups and all sometimes. At its meeting, member to cooked food by the low caste people, also believed in permitting widow remarriage and education of women. In 1851, Jyotiba Phule, low caste Mali family, and his wife started a girls' school at Pune, and soon many other schools came up. Phule was one of the pioneer for the widow remarriage in Maharashtra, and all his life carried on a campaign against upper caste domination and Brahminical supremacy. Dadabhai Naroji was another leading social reformer of Bombay, one of the founders of Association to reform Zoroastrian religion and the Parsi Law Association informed laws of inheritance and marriage of the Parsis. So these were the key leaders that raised voice. So main prominent that we have focused for those things we will discuss again coming another chapters. In this chapter, we mainly focused upon the Raja Ram Mohan Roy, um, Dirozio, Devendranath Tagore, and Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Okay, so importance of language and literature. Indian language, press, and literature laid a key point in moving forward for the struggle of carried by the reformers, that they raised those terms in the public domain through those literatures, through the press and the media. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar and Rabindranath Tagore wrote Bengali primers, which are still used till today, that I have stated many a times in this lecture. A spread of modernist and reformist ideas among the mass of the people occurred primarily through Indian languages. I hope you have liked this video. Please like and subscribe. In the coming sessions, we'll take chapter 7. If you have any doubts, please write in the comment section. Thank you.